Alright, I'm gonna start recording too. Everything looks good for once. Hopefully, hopefully the signal is good. Hopefully the audio is good. I did check it. It seems like everything's really good. The signal is actually holding like really steady, which is like the first time in months that it's been doing that. So I still have to get an Ethernet cord. I know this is like really unprofessional having a wireless card in my desktop, but it's just been the way that it's been for a couple years, just because of the wiring in the house. It was built in the 50s, so I just need to do it, but it's been a rough couple of months. I'll get into that, I'm sure, in like an update video. I don't want to get into that now because this is gonna be the 600th game that I've finished on Steam, as far as 100%ing games, which is what the channel is about, for me at least. So I'm gonna restart as a new game just so people get the full experience. This is just the pause menu screen, so let's start. And I'm gonna try to interrupt it as very little as possible. This probably won't be one long video. If you're watching on YouTube, hopefully everything works out fine. There's no interruptions or anything like that. But even if they are, they might be wacky and they might be fun. So I'm just going to restart it, and I'm going to try to interrupt the story as very little. But if there are things that I do want to comment on, I'm going to try to time that as best as I can to not interrupt the actual dialogue of the game. Let me just make sure that the dialogue can actually be heard. The music might be a bit loud, so we're going to turn down the music to about halfway. The dialogue's going to be, yeah, let's just do a few things here. Sorry, this is kind of, that's good. Let's make music a little bit lower, a little softer. I mean, I know it does to the full extent of the experience, but for this, I'd rather the dialogue be. If we're gonna have any of the game audio, I'd rather the dialogue be in than the music. Not to say the music's not good, but so far it's amazing. But anyway, new game. So.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house. Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it. My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
It's the first time that I've seen a game incorporate.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
The dialogue that is shown as part of it, not as like subtitles, but like incorporates it as part of the actual like overarching story as a graphic.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
That's cool. Just pop the letters off. I don't think I noticed that before when I launched it. Before I wanted to play it.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Since this is a 100% run, we'll have to run it twice, I believe. I don't know if I'm going to do that to people, at least for this run. But you can take one path, the upper path here, or the down path here. I'm going to take the down path this time. But I think there's actually an achievement for taking both paths to the house. Like replaying it and doing a different path. So I'm not sure
The
what
truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
I know there's a dialogue scene that shows up here, but just to finish, I only know like up to the end of this little space here. I did start playing it a little bit, and then I realized, you know what, this deserves to be the 600th game, and I wanna stream it. So I want this.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do.
It's interesting. There's like a little tug there that pulled me to the dialogue. I didn't notice that before. I just assumed it was kind of forcing me on like a straight path a little bit. There's a bit. I mean, you can like choose. It doesn't like force you to take only one path. Oh, there's another missing poster here. That's cool. Oh my. Okay. Oh, they almost like breadcrumbs. That's kind of horrible. Like, just to point this out, like, if he was gone when she was 4, then that means that these posters have just been hanging out here, like, on the floor, all over the premises, just as this constant reminder of him just
The house was
being
exactly
gone.
like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Man, how cool. What a bizarre looking place. It's neat.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
So 13 years. He's been missing 13 years? Oh, those wind chimes are really pretty. That's cool. Broken swing.
The house felt like it had always been here.
Gosh.
Even the swing set was older than my mother.
That was weird. Like, I looked through and I couldn't... Nothing happened. Like, oh, hey, there's something out there in the water. That's cool. And it just pulled me right back to it. It was interesting. Like, it's almost like a hey, you didn't fully see what you were just looking at. So that's cool. It's a bit different. There were kind of forced segments in other games, like, oh, what the...
I heard something moving around in the garage.
That was weird. There are forced segments in like other games. There's a ramp for... That's cool. I can't tell if those are like pictures. These have to be. Those are pictures and not like an actual design of stuff through an actual window. Not to knock it. I think it's interesting. Because this is a memory, and it's, I think it's interesting. I think it just kind of goes into the depth of how it is a memory rather than real life. Like it's painted rather than it's authentic.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Oh, can I? That's cool. Oh, wait. Are you supposed to actually pull? Oh, neat. I thought that was just automatic.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Huh. I don't think that there is a achievement or anything like that for, what a nice, like, lower deck in front of the house. This is cool. It's a really pretty house. Really nice details and stuff. What was I saying? I don't remember what I was about to say. It's nice little details. So, side door then? Oh, okay, no, we're just gonna... That's cool.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
6 years makes a difference? I don't know. I've never snuck through a doggy door. Is it? I like the amount of detail. All the different types of things that are just here. Not just like on the wood, but the fact that there's just stuff everywhere. I don't know. I don't know. It makes me more comfortable. It makes me believe more things. If people remember my comment about the Gone Home documentary, or not documentary, I'm sorry, director's commentary mode. If you haven't played Gone Home, please go play it. And there's a commentary mode now because they did an update, and it's such a good. It really gets you in the head space of a developer. It's just really good. I mean, there's other games like Dear Esther has a commentary mode. There's a bunch of games that have commentary modes, but Gone Home specifically goes into like all the details that they had to do with building stuff, like assets and whatnot, because they had such a low budget, and it's just really good to hear how frustrating but also humanizing the whole development cycle is for stuff like that.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
That's foreboding. Oh, how cute. I just like the detail. Like, that's just cool.
For the first time in years,
Why is this door open?
I felt like I was home.
This is cool.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
In effort of full disclosure, I do know how most of this game goes. I watched the review by Joseph Anderson. I probably shouldn't have, but I did because I really enjoy his channel. And so I do know most of what's happening, or what's going to happen, so it's not entirely a blind run through, but I mean, experiencing something is different than watching it. So I'm sure I'm going to have a lot more from a reflection from actually experiencing it than simply watching somebody play through it.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
That's a lot of salmon. I love that there's just, like, everything's a bookshelf. This is great. Like, it's like a set by the Leica team. The production company that makes movies. They made Kubo and the Two Strings, Paranorman, Coraline. Like, this looks like a set they designed.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Not the floor, though.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
So no one's been back? Like, the house is just...
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Oh, that's creepy, actually. How's this television?
Even the fireplace
Oh.
had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank.
Sank? Oh, yeah. Okay. Never mind. Weird. Very cool. Like, someone clearly cared about this house and how it looked. I love how, like, the fireplace isn't, like, barely even finished. Like, someone who was working on it didn't know how masonry worked. They just, like, I don't know. It's like a Tetris game that just kind of went really, really awry. Oh, neat. Oh, there's some depth to them. They're actual... Are they 3D models? Or somewhat 3D models? Like, they almost look like origami, but they've got a bit of a pop to them. I just expected them to be pictures. It's really cool. Very neat detail. Like, look at that. Like, one of the 3 birds just fell off of the... That's so cool. Good stuff here. Oh. Oh, yeah, you can actually interact with stuff. This is... Okay.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Oh, cool.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Hmm. Man, like, I would love to have a house. Like, just so much stuff. This is cool.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Oh, this is weird. This is the same thing that was being worked on in the garage. Like, it's the same like framework. Weird. That's cool.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Hmm. You almost kind of... Huh. It's kind of like making the house a mausoleum, and it's bizarre. I mean, to say the least. This is cool though. I mean, I understand, like, again, going back to Gone Home, they talk about repetitiveness as far as assets, and it's just neat. It's really good. I don't mean to be going on to that to kind of, like, you know, shove away. Obviously, someone took a lot of care. I mean, look at this. Like, look at this. This is amazing. That someone took so much care, effort, and energy to design all of this. But it's, again, I can't imagine how much effort it was to choose how something looked. Like, the organization in disorganization, the sense in the chaos, and oh, these are fixed here, like something fell. Oh man, I like that saw up there, the one that's painted. I've seen stuff like that before. It's very, very cool. There's a sign near a business that we actually see on the route to visit somebody that is a buzzsaw and has a design like a house and stuff like that drawn on it. It's really cool. Stuff like that's very neat.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
She's an actress. That's cool. My friend Bigfoot. Oh, cool. There's a wall behind that. Like a moon-shaped... Oh, that's cool. Weird. Is it like a crawl space behind there? This is neat. Oh,
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Odin. Alright.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
It's cool that it's giving you an explanation as to why you can't get past certain areas. Lets you know the barriers have some level of
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I
story
think my
behind it.
mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Oh, that's cool. Is that the house that sank? Like, look how awesome this room is detailed. Like, look at it actually looks like wallpaper. Even goes to the door. Man, I'm loving this.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
There's a cable car? 20,000 leagues.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Oh.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Huh.
But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
It's the first save cycle. Okay, so automatic saving instead of... Oh, that's weird. Okay. Cool.
I
whistle.
grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Huh.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Oh, is it? Man, this is just really cool. Oh, is she the one that captures bugs? And that's cool. December 1947. Whoa. All right. Oh.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even
What?
tinier gerbil cage.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Oh, it leads down through the whole thing. Okay, that's a neat idea. Bit eccentric.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
It's right next to... Okay, that's...
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
My Halloween candy was all gone. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Oh, he knocks the letters away. That's so cool. Man, what a cool little house for a fish. That's a weird observation, I know, but still.
I kept eating and eating.
really weird.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Were those even like real? Were those actually?
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Huh.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Oh, okay. So you do have some pretty serious control here. Do I have to? Okay.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Okay. I think some of this is pretty heavily scripted as far as movement goes, so I don't think I can fall. Is the cat purring? That's so cool.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
It's interesting because it's just two characters standing there rather than actually moving characters, and so it reinforces that whole the picture frames that I saw as the bottom windows for the basement as not actually being depth to it. It was it just reinforces it as it's a play, not a real experience. Again, it doesn't take away from that. It actually reinforces it, I think anyway, I don't know. Oh. I like the little bell that jingles. I don't know if you can hear it because I changed sound effects, but the bell jingles every time you land. It's pretty cool. Are cats really this agile?
I jumped and I almost got her.
Oh, mad kitty. Oh, did I just go through that? Oh gosh, wow. Oh no, some of this is not scripted. You can actually move around with a decent amount of freedom. Just not sure how I get on the table. I just went through it. That's weird.
I could tell she was getting
Sure.
really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
It's not going to
I
end well for
gobbled
this
her
cat.
up. And suddenly, I was an owl.
Oh,
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
oh man, this is cool. Oh, neat, you can move. Wait, how much freedom do you have here?
Rabbits.
I'm sorry if you could just hear my phone go off. I forgot to put it on silent. I did not mean for that to interrupt. This is so cool. Can I, like, dive too? Oh, okay. Oh, it's just telling me. Oh, neat. It used the same, like, words, and they just flew to the other rabbit. They just keep going to the other rabbit. That's so neat, rather than... That's so cool! Oh, that one's stuck. Alright, well... I guess you just... Do you dive for them, or... How bizarre. Oh, what a weird game.
I imagined his face
Oh, is it-
looking
oh.
up and seeing mine through
Yep.
my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit.
Dude,
Then I flew off to find something bigger.
I just want to ask, do owls actually do that? Because
A mama rabbit.
oh, okay. Let me get some. I think there's actually an achievement for getting. Oh yeah, there is. Neat.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
I'm. Oh, Joseph Anderson's right. This is really weird. Wait, how do you? Oh, okay. Mouse key. This is really comical. It's cool though. It's kind of neat. It's weird.
I rolled off
Whoa,
a cliff
car.
and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Okay, cool. Oh, neat.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Very slow. I think you have to be right on it.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Oh. That's cool. Where's the, Oh, there it is. There's blood in the water.
I grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
What? Okay, that's how you pull. Okay, weird. Oh, I can't move. Oh, the mouse is not moving my view. That's why I couldn't do that. But I can move with the... Okay, weird. Okay, that's how I... Okay, we're good. It's really kind of a bizarre change. I wonder if a controller would make this
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Wasn't the brother? Didn't the brother work at a cannery? I wonder if. Oh no, because this is 1947. So. Oh, that's a cool car. Is that a three-wheel car? Oh, neat. Oh yeah, the mouse does not control the camera. Oh, that's all. Okay. What a weird movement scheme. I don't know why I can't like just figure it out. It's just kind of different than the previous movements have been. Can you just knock? Oh yeah. This is pretty interesting.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
So do I just... That's cool. Oh, we didn't get to go down here. How long can my tentacle go? That... I just clipped right through that. I like that the audio moves. Like it's actually like in just one ear now. Because I'm on the side of the ship where the music is actually coming from. feels weird.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
And this is... What? With the captain's daughter? Sorry, I can't see the dialogue, so I just have to like... I've just never heard the whole song. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Probably not, because I turned the audio down because I'm... This... I think that this person might have actually been drunk when he was doing the dialogue for this particular scene. If people are wondering why I'm hanging out, there's actually a achievement for just letting him finish the song. And so I'm sorry if this is boring, but it's interesting that the movement scheme for the octopus or monster or however you are, is so, okay, there we go, I let him finish. It's just weird, like the movement scheme is so bizarre. I've never experienced anything like this before.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand.
Wait,
and the
so
good smell went into an old pipe.
If we are in 1947, then the old house would still be like in the water, right? So can we see it from here? I guess not. I definitely like that this is like an kind of unconventional movement system for this, because like it makes me have to, like, it's not just like something similar that I've experienced before. It's like it's entirely different. Oh, that's creepy-ish. Whoa. Oh gosh. No, wait. That's not. Can I go? There we go. Oh no. I have just messed this all up. Here we go. Okay.
I got closer and closer.
Kind of weird that there was no body there when we came out. That's only like a tentacle, so I'm not sure if maybe it's I don't know. I'm not gonna critique that. It's fine. Can I knock over the little... No, I can't knock him over. I can go through him though. I can drift between them. It's like initial D farmland. I don't know what's wrong with me, sorry.
All of my stomach started growling.
Deja vu. Alright, sorry. I'll stop.
And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
That was terrific voice acting on the part of whoever played Molly. The whispering at the end was actually fantastic.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Oh, I keep forgetting you actually have to do the movement scheme. Again, like sort of unconventional as far as games like this
I
are
got the
concerned.
sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
She was only 10? Oh, man. Jeez. That's kind of awful. I like that the flashlight. Did I say flashlight? Flashlight. I gotta be careful not to say something different there. The flashlight that you end on is the first thing you kind of see as far as the objects. It's like right there in front of you, so it reinforces that the interconnectedness coming from one time period and looping back to where you are. That's really cool. I know I observe stuff like that all the time, but I think that there's a reason why stuff like that happens in games. I think that's really powerful as far as a narrative loop, because you are playing
I can't describe
literature.
it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
You are playing literature, and I think that it's really, I think it's really powerful. I don't know why the jellyfish sticks out to me so much. I feel like that's mentioned somewhere else in the game, from what I remember. I don't know. Oh. Wait, wasn't Molly also the cat?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Oh, yeah.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Built in 1937. Wait, so it was built the same year that their daughter was born? Weird. Okay. Mural sketches, Barbara concepts. Maybe concepts for the individual.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Conspiracy now.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Shrine sketches. That's cool.
Lewis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Oh, man.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
That's kind of cool. I noticed that she had gloves when she was doing... Oh, that's cool. That's a picture right there of her painting that room. Sketching it underneath. Like, there's the remains of the house on the right side there. That's cool. I like that the shark is not just reinforced in this particular painting, but also in Molly's room. So that's cool. Little handprints. How neat. Oh, the one for Calvin and Sam, the date is 19 is in the blue and 52 is in the it's perfectly symmetrical. That's, well, not perfectly symmetrical, but rather it's even as far as halfway through the painting that one side's red and one side's blue. So
Her room was like a museum.
there's like a scimitar up there. A scimitar or a falchion? I think it's a scimitar. I think a falchion would be larger. I have a falchion, I think. So.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
Oh, cool. I actually.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johann.
Ingeborg.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house,
What?
hoping to leave the curse behind.
That's cute.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington Send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
I'm really trying not to. It's just that's just a really funny picture.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas
Okay.
Island.
So Sven built the house, not Odin, because Odin died. Okay.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Huh. Oops. Wait. How do I? How do I get out of the? Oh, I can just use the. No, literally, how do I, Oh, okay. Arrow keys. That's cool.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Oh, you can use the arrow keys as well to close. That's cool. Not everything is going to be a flashback. I didn't know that. That's very, very neat. Oh man. She was sewing up the one for Lewis. That's really cool. Oh, there's the, is this a make of the house? Because that sure looks like it. This is probably cool because this is probably like an actual, design from Blender. Or, I mean, if they used Blender or whatever they used, Unreal Engine, I'm not really sure what this was built with. But this was probably like an actual, like, smaller version of the actual cutaways for the modeling of the house, and they just made like a smaller one and put it in here. It's really cool. I'm not sure how that process works, but it's very, very neat. I have a friend that uses Blender and the Unreal Engine and models stuff, and it's fascinating to watch it. To watch literally nothing become something. Is there a shark in every room? Like, what's the meaning of the shark? That's a cool chair, by the way. Look at that.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
Oh, that's
she could have, but she didn't.
That's the one that's on the side of the house. It's in the lake. So that's how he died? Oh, God. That's kind of awful.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
What? Oh.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
This is so... It's so pink. Oh. There's... What?
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
I wonder if some of these shots are the developers. If you've ever played Stalker, I think the first one. I'm not sure about Clear Sky or Call of Pripyat. Yeah, Shadow of Chernobyl. It's the first one. There's a shot in one of the bases that I think is all the developers after they had finished the game. Or maybe when they were actually working on it. Anyway, the point is though is that it's a shot of all the developers, and throughout, I think, gaming history, developers, publishers have been featured as some of the background, like pictures or whatnot. So I'm curious if this is a developer and his daughter, or I mean, she looks kind of young, so but it could be boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife, something like that. I don't know. It's just cool to see stuff like that. I think are we doing Calvin's story next? Oh, that's zoom. What's crouch? Or is it just gonna auto? Yeah, it'll auto crouch. That's cool. Oh, Milton was here too. Yeah, Calvin. Oh man. Yeah, some of these pictures are pretty legit. These I'm oh no, I don't want to go back. Right. He's really into the military. Man, that's so much film. Look at that. That's so cool. This is so neat. Oh man, this is neat. Oh, one of them. Oh, that's right. It's two brothers. One of them was into military stuff. The other one was into.
I knew
How
Grandpa
cool.
Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
That's kind of weird. Like you just.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Oh, cool.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Oh, you already have a broken leg. Oh.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
There's a light on in the house in the.
Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Wow. Like I actually like my chest is actually tight. 'Cause it's like
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
like imagine calling your children to dinner and like one of them just won't come. Like I remember like hanging out like in my room, like not being able to like get away from like, I hate to say it, but like anime, like you know, like Toonami when I was in high school, and like just being like addicted to you know either Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon or whatever episode was on, of whatever it was, and like not coming down. But like imagine like the horror of calling your children to dinner and one of them is just so abstinent, like, or just so addicted to swinging, and you just see from the porch, because you can see that swing from the porch, and you just watch as he just launches himself into the ocean, and it's like that's that's brutal. But really, really powerful. My chest is actually tight because of that. Like, oh man, I'm uncomfortable. But still really cool. Okay, so these are just painted on. That's really neat. We'll go back to just observational. Oh wait, this has to be a part of a car. There's a little ashtray from like an old. I don't know if anybody, because I'm 31, so like I'm older. Even though I'll get into that later. Anyway, so in older cars they had like little pop-up ashtrays for smokers in the sides. So I'm curious if this is from like a redesign from a model car. Obviously it wouldn't be like a particular type, and then the pedals are down here too. So that's really neat. That's a really cool observation. Like, this wasn't like, everything is recycled in this house. Like, everything's used over again for some pretty
After
important
the funeral,
meetings.
Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Yeah.
Mom
Oh,
said Grandpa
man.
Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Yep. Sam, I don't know. Do we meet Sam? I don't know if we do or not. I like the little darts. Oh, what's this? Oh, the caterpillar. That's cool. Oh, it actually made like a little squeak. Okay. Oh, down. Down or up? Oh, up. For real? Okay, that's cool. What? Like, it's like the Spencer
The passages
Mansion.
were a pretty tight fit.
Oh, hey,
They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
bellies. Oh, that's cool. Wait, is this an actual, like, oh yeah. I keep, it's like shortcuts, I guess. That's cool. Oh, can I not? Yeah, I can. Okay. Like opening shortcuts. It's like the Dark Souls
Growing
of.
up, I always thought of
Sorry.
Barbara as a child star.
I do that all the time. I've never played Dark Souls, and I compare everything to Dark Souls somehow, just to make people that play Dark Souls mad. I played Bloodborne. That's enough for me forever. So, yeah, that genre is not for me. Oh man. Oh, this is so cool. She worked at a fast food joint? Maybe that's a set from something. Oh man.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Is this an actual cake that just, like, has been sitting here for like 30 or 40 years? Man, this is cool. Barb Street, that's cool. This is very neat. Sorry, I'm kind of addicted to, like, observing stuff. This is just cool. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's a comic book. That's cool. I forgot
Of
it
all
was a
the
comic
stories
book.
people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
It's legit.
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been.
cruel.
But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to
Ow.
be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Oh.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Oh, neat. It's a...
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Wait,
She
did they...
found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
They actually got the music for... Wow, that's pretty cool. Oh, those are
The
physically...
gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Oh, okay. I like that it switched to cell
The old
shading.
Finch rattled and grew still.
Oh dear! Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out,
That's good.
but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah!
What?
Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
I really like that it switched to the... Like, this is such an interesting, like, concept. Like, how is this done? I'd love to see a documentary on, like, on how... Or at least a commentary mode on, like, how this is done. This is very, very cool. Oh, Lightning. Oh, Light, hey, has joined us in chat. That's probably not going to be on the... that won't appear on the YouTube version of this, but yeah. Yeah, I'm happy this is my 600th game too. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really enjoying this. This is pretty cool. God, I love cell shading. All right.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And whoever he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
How fantastic.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Oh man. Oh no, we're not doing that? Okay. Do I have to go through the window?
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
Oh, maybe I have to go through...
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Oh. Oh, that's how the...
He
Yeah.
wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
I'm gonna come down here and the body's gonna be gone. Or not, they might not. Yeah, okay. I can't believe they got the music for
Had vanished.
Halloween.
She
That's
listened
so
for his
cool.
breathing, but all she heard was...
This is cool. How wacky.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Look, that's exactly what I would say.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her.
What?
Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
What a cool concept for a game. Like, I wonder how long this took to come up with. Very neat. Oh, she even had a doll made of her? Wow.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
I'm trying to remember what that's called. So, if you notice, I don't know if it's going to come across in the video as well. So for right here, it looks dark there, and as you're walking, it gets brighter.
It's funny.
Like you're.
All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
That your eyes adjust. I'm trying to remember what that's called. They added that to in an update of Warframe, and I remember it being really noticeable. Many years ago. Gosh, I haven't played Warframe in forever. I have to actually turn it. Eventually it will come out. Yeah. Huh. Neat. Oh. Wait, was there a pool table here before? There's a baby carrier down here. Or a swing. I guess you were planning for memorials for a lot of people. That's really cryptic.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
How long does a tetanus shot last that you would need to... It's fine. That's really cool. This is the predecessor to, I guess, the first, or the full dragon slide thing. Pretty neat.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Model trains. Brutal. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting I have to actually... What was it that I made fun of? There's a YouTuber that I follow, Devin Christie, and she was playing Typo Man, and she kept saying, after she put the words in, because it's like you input letters and whatnot, and she kept saying commit, and I was like, why are you saying commit? And it's actually like it actually is the command. Like the command is called commit, and so like I keep forgetting I have to commit every time I do an action so that it continues the actual movement. But this is interesting. Like he was so afraid that he put out a fake. See, this goes back to this almost brings home the concept of people putting up like illusions, like locking yourself almost away in your own story. It really kind of nails it. I think this right here, because he couldn't face the real world anymore, and so he's down here instead. This is awesome though, that every single room feels so legitimate to what the character is. Like the train in Walter's room that we opened first upstairs, I didn't understand what it was for, and this like right here looks like the inside of a train. So he must have been really into locomotives and whatnot, and so that's cool. It's built into that. I love that everything saves its own specific space. That like everything feels cramped, but it still feels like homey. Like everything like feels like its own like almost tiny home. Everything's compartmentalized to have different meaning for different people. It's really fascinating. Sorry, I keep going off in these little explanations and whatnot, exploring the house. But it's really powerful. I think it's heartbreaking, and it's probably one of the most humanizing games I've ever played. In all honesty, I know that sounds like hyperbolic, but it really is. It's just like look at all the paint right here. Like look at the splatters. Can I zoom in, right? Yeah, I can't double zoom in though. But anyway, like look at all the paint splatters like everywhere. Like I know that's just like I think we take for granted like detailing in video games, and we don't really accept them as real powerful forms of literature. And I don't mean to do like a broad brush kind of generalization that we don't take it seriously. Like you can have fun in games and whatnot. Like you don't have to take it too seriously, but like there's like some real opportunities here to have some real meaning and real embodiment of struggle and happiness and joy and sorrow. And I really, this is like a really powerful entry in that endeavor, I think.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
That's a deep voice. Wow.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine.
Can you use the arrow keys for this one? Or use the mouse? Nope, I have to use the mouse.
That's what kept me sane.
I feel like I'm doing this wrong.
Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
I wonder if he sees it as like his own mental illness. I feel like I'm
Even a
doing this
monster
wrong.
on the other side of the door starts to feel normal.
I'm really sorry if this is brutal. I feel like I'm doing this part entirely wrong. I'm not sure exactly why it's not
Almost friendly.
not committing. There we go. Commit.
And then one day, everything just stopped.
I love that the music changes with the time period. Like, look, I hate to keep going into this, but I mean, like, this is what the channel's about. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to explore this as literature. Like, this is amazing that you can have something interlaced so well with such a humanizing characteristic, and blend it so well that it is like literature, like a film, like an artistic, well, like an art piece. Like, it's almost like if you ever do strolls through people's exhibits in museums, excuse me. like certain areas will be cordoned off for one artist, and like doing a whole bunch of segments and whatnot, walking from stage to stage. It's just really interesting to experience
Whatever
that.
that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
I do feel like I'm doing this incorrectly. I actually have to drag the mouse. Like I've tried keys and the keys won't work. It's a really good song, actually.
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Oh, I'm not allowed to go over there? Oh, here's like a drying rack and it's still mostly the same. That's cool. Maybe just lost interest in painting the train. Oh, okay, this is cool. Commit. Seriously, go to Devin Christie's channel on YouTube and follow her. She's absolutely fantastic. I don't mean to tease her. She's absolutely fantastic. And like I said before, Joseph Anderson, he's really good too.
I know it's out there somewhere.
Oh, koala. There's a koala on that. That's cool. Man, this is so neat.
Whatever killed Barbara
Oh,
and Molly.
Yeah, he just fell into it, you know. I wonder why some of the stuff
And Calvin.
isn't upstairs. I guess just because of the space, or if maybe it's easier to keep things down here. Man, how brutal to like not be able to deal with grief in that regard. And
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
Oh,
Whatever's
no.
out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face. What a
Walter
brutal
died when I
game.
was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Man, what a brutal game.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Commit. I swear that's the last time I'll do it. I promise.
Maybe
Oh.
she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house,
It's a weird
I
sentence.
can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Like, I would understand maybe like having a bit of a compost, but just throwing all the stuff down there, I would think that'd be a bad idea.
Trying
if-
to bury something that's still alive.
Oh, that's cool.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Oh, man. Oh, the train tracks aren't here anymore. Wait, I'm wondering if the train was even real. I mean, obviously at one point the train... No, it had to be, because the shaking is the train. I think just this part of the island just broke. Yeah. Maybe that's... No, because the house was already sunk. I don't know. Interesting. Weird. Am I supposed to walk the other way, or is there... Oh, no, there's a path right here. Cool.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family.
Are these motion activated?
And the history you're a part of.
Oh, this reminds me of Dear Esther. Oh man, that game was just awesome.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
Just as an aside, the pulling back, like your character being pulled back to the dialogue, it's interesting because it's refocusing where you are, even though you're getting lost in the story, and that's such a cool, like tangible way of trying to get you back, like forcing you back on track, because no matter how long you stare at something, there's like you can't escape it. You can't change it.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
And it's just kind of cool. I think these are motion activated. Like, I think you have to walk near them to turn them on. Or look at them? I don't know. How weird. Do they... Yeah, I've never even, like... That's so bizarre. I mean, it's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just, it's kind of a weird thing. Oh, they're going off. Yeah, yeah. They turn off. That's so cool.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Oh my gosh, Jonathan, commit. There we go. Okay. There we go. Got it. Oh, okay, we're near the swing, right? This is where we were looking through, right? Wait, where's the swing? It's not there anymore. Oh, there it is. Cool. Oh, that's terrifying.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Yeah, it's pretty...
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. Three of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Furpy, Lurpy, and Zerpy. Oh my gosh. Oh man, there's a lot. Derpy and Derpy June. Oh my goodness. Just going through the whole alphabet. Man.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
That's cool. Oh, it's actually like three-dimensional. Like it's a rock. Like it's. That's cool. I like that the bookmark is kind of curved upwards, sort of resembling. I mean, I know that they have normally like a split at the end, but it resembles the tongue of the dragon that Sven was building and whatnot. But then it also represents, or sorry, I guess I shouldn't think that it represents, but it also looks like the tentacle for Molly, and Hunt. Hunt is there too, and well, I mean, I guess it's interrupted by the eye, but still, Hunt is prominently up there as Molly was hunting the different creatures. I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting something that's not there, but observation is kind of. There's a little character in there. Oh yeah, as he walked out the. Man, brutal.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Oh man, how horrible.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
How horrible to be reminded of that like all the time. What's that down there? Is it just like a barge or something? Like, why is that weird? Okay, Eric.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Oh, it's a buoy. What if I got stuck? I would think that you wouldn't be allowed to leave that out there.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
I'm surprised, from at least what I'm surprised that this one's here, and I'll talk about that.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Like, there's not like a ladder where you can't take like, I don't know, 700 of like the 4 million books that are in the house to just stack up and climb. It's fine. Oh, we're not going to walk on the glass. Let's not do that. No, no, no. Oh, I guess I do have to. Okay. Ladder. Here we go. Cool.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Little fire pit.
pretty intense.
Yeah, looks like it. I wonder if this is where the I think this is where the inspiration for the military service for
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
what was the boy? Was it Sam Jr.? Oh, we can pause and actually find out, right? No. Yeah, Sam. Yeah, Sam Jr. Oh, no, he is the one that, yeah, got into it because he's the one that he lived, so, yeah. Okay, yeah, he's the one that went to military service and then, okay, yeah. Sorry, my bad. I apologize if it's dark. I did think about adjusting I probably actually can if it's really dark. The gamma or the
Instead
bright.
of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
I mean, that's why he survived as long as he did. Well, we're not going to close the door. We weren't raised in a barn. We were raised in this crazy place, so we're just gonna leave it open. Okay, that's cool. Oh my gosh, commit. There's a ring there on the.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
How do I
Am I
focus
gonna
in?
have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Smile, Dawn. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
This is a really neat idea. What was the one previously? The newsreel? Like, this
You're
is
right,
cool.
Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Instead of doing the, where is she? That was a bird. That's
Aw.
cool. Oh, I'm her now. Okay. Oh, this reminds me of Firewatch a bit. Oh, I guess I do have to actually take a picture to be able to, I want to get the background. I'm just trying to find the right focus for it. I don't think I can focus in on that. I can at least get this island. Maybe? If I can stop being... There must be something specific that it wants me to focus in on. Oh, there we go.
Should not have drunk all that coffee.
Oh, that's lovely.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I definitely. Hey!
That's a keeper.
Nothing quite like being outside. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
Wow.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
To tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
The voice acting for this is absolutely phenomenal. Like, really, really good job.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire.
He's walking with a
I found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
What's the book? Oh,
I
what's
bet
she
if I could
reading?
remember where that trail
Oh,
was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time.
Wait, does it say? Oh no, it does say public hunting.
me a minute
I thought
to check
it
the
said
map.
no hunting.
eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Oh my god. Oh, here we go.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. Camera
Great
and the
shot, Don.
is the same. My bad. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is weird. Why?
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always
Oh.
remember that, okay?
I actually controlled the character, not the, that was weird.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about.
Dad!
Oh, man.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Oh, yeah, and she was Dawn, so she experienced it. Oh, God. Oh, it's the two boys are there. The Calvin, the one with the little robot mask, and then Sam. That's cool. Oh, okay, that must be him and Dawn. Dawn had the glasses, now I understand. Father and daughter. That's cool. That's cool they found actors to it was a rifle that did it. Wow. Huh. She didn't have a comment after that. That's interesting. Well, no, she did, but she didn't. She hasn't said anything else. It's the only time where I'm not really sure. Oh. Curious who's next.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Finch control. That's cool. Oh, I know this one.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Like an orchestra? Okay. Weird. What?
That time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
Oh, that's interesting. The font has
Hello?
changed.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
Oh, they're dealing with.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw.
How bizarre.
It sure made him happy.
Oh, there we go. What else do I have to knock down? Oh, maybe I have to bounce off of this? Nope. I don't think I even have to hold it in either. Or maybe I do, I don't know. I think I have to hit the faucet. This is really embarrassing that I can't do this. Yeah, I can't figure it out. Oh. Am I supposed to... Okay. Nope, I guess not. What? Okay, the boing is pretty cool, but I don't exactly understand. I guess we're just gonna have to...
I know how silly it
Oh,
sounds.
there we go.
That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. Hey, there's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Wow.
can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
The military was pretty strong with them, I guess.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Well, oh, that's cool. Okay. Oh, you actually have to...
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Oh, when...
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I remember.
Husband and wife. Make him cry.
Oh, whoops, my bad. Where are the... Are they higher up? No. Oh, neat, there's a... That's the statue that we knocked over, or was knocked over, not that we knocked over, I don't know why. Did the game just bug out, or... Oh, here we go. My bad.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Oh, wow. Little brat.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Oh, they actually disappeared. All the people just disappeared. That's really cool. Oh.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
That's irrational.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach
It's the
alone.
octopus.
Just you, the wind, the
Well,
sea,
like
and
the
foam.
octopus.
But I didn't.
Wow.
Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus. My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Yeah, like 4 feet. Wow. Ugh. The smallest amount of space. Oh, look at that computer. That's cool.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
Oh.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about. but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. Lewis was born a year later.
Oh, solar panels. I was like, why does the roof look so weird? Like, why is there tile on the roof? And it's not, it's solar panels because I'm an idiot. Oh, man. Alright, well, yeah, we're 22 weeks pregnant, so let's not...
I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
Oh.
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
I like that there's black ink, their little houses and whatnot. Like, I like that everything that he writes. Allegedly, well, we'll get to that. I don't want to spoil that for anybody. I don't want your thoughts to be on that. I'd rather be in the moment. This is cool. Man, I really do love all the little things, like the handwriting that's different in places. Yeah, that's cool.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
And she taught them here. That's so
But
cool.
it didn't last.
Oh, what's this? Data conclusion.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Oh my gosh, commit. That's cool. How was she able to build all this? Edie, the older... Wow. It's really cool.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush. I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
If anyone that watches this has a
Mom spent
PlayStation,
months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
there is a prequel, well, not a prequel, allegedly a prequel, but another game by the same developer called The Unfinished Swan on the PlayStation Network. I believe it was released on PlayStation 3.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
I think it was on PlayStation 3, but it may have only been released for PlayStation 4. I'm not entirely sure, but it's on the PlayStation Network regardless. It is potentially an answer for why Milton's story is so spread throughout all the house, but very, but not really talked about. You know, that there's a door there that he disappears. So I'm not gonna go too deep into that because I don't want to ruin that if that is true. Because if you do play it, you know, obviously I want it to, you know, mean something. But yeah, the Unfinished Swan. Get on PS4. It's too bad it's
Mom
not.
definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
I think it's unfair that it's not multi-platform. Exclusivity is something that kind of really bugs me. I get it. I get the meaning behind it, but I don't know. I think I don't know. I've never been a fan of like locking stories to only one platform, but I do understand why it's why it's done.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
How did you get a boat up here? Like actually? Like... Oh, that's broken. These are cool. This is really neat. Oh.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Got that sweet, sweet product in here. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yep. Oh, neat.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
This is cool. Oh, there's a... What's this?
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
That's cool.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
What?
He
Oh,
kept
God.
working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself.
I see.
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it.
Oh, this is weird.
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names.
Oh God, this is really weird.
He knew it was all in his head.
Watch me be so bad at this. What? Oh God.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
I like that it's going from very thin detail to immensely more detail. That's really
But he found something more.
cool. Oh wow. Whoa, perspective change. That's cool.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery.
Yeah, kind of.
I spoke with his boss.
to daydream.
But he said Lewis had become a model employee.
Okay.
Methodical, tireless, focused.
Getting caught on terrain. Oh no. Okay.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
This is such an awkward, like, playing
And
two
songs
games
for
at
them to
once.
play.
I don't think I've ever experienced anything
He
like
talked about
this.
starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
Oh, that's a dangerous thing to believe.
He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
Oh God.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Is her figure still there? It might be. It might have been. That's
In
really...
Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for sinister serpents.
Okay. Oh, I see. In the rainbows, you would have passed it
He
right.
followed the sound of her
Oh yeah, silver harp. Electric sitar.
silver harp.
What? Oh, that's the song he was humming. Okay, cool. I'm on board. Yeah.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Oh God. There's so many fish.
but he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Was this the same motivation that Milton?
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Whoa. What? Whoa, okay. Just as an aside, that was a cool transition. That was really, really cool. Is it a Switch? Wait, this had to be made before Switch, right? What? Okay, it's fine.
He began to forget the world we know.
Oh, it's just like the... Oh man, that's cool.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
It's very cathedral-like.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
How neat.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
The wise Calico? I didn't even see a cat. Is there a cat? What? How neat.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Oh, the confetti's the same as Barbara in her dream.
There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Oh, wow.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Hmm.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Oh man, that's brutal. I know I keep saying that, but like it really is. It's like it's so like whatever the whole situation is here with the family, like mental illness is something that is just really like the most creative people I think can truly be at a lapse or at a lack of being able to always stay within the confines of reality. And I don't think that means that they're doomed, but I definitely think that I think it's harder for creative people because they're tapped into some sort of resonance that doesn't click for others. You know, I definitely know of people that are more creative that definitely have a less grip on the consequences of reality. Not to say that their fantasy isn't real and isn't genuine and isn't a form of authenticity for their look or their almost observation on reality, because creativity comes from obviously reality, fantasy comes from reality, and isn't unwelcomed. But I think that when people are insular, like we see it with Milton and all the members of the family, when you have people that buy into isolationism, it creates almost sort of a cancer that infects, and that cancer, regardless of how creative you are, eventually swallows you. Yeah, it's really... Apparently I don't know. Okay. Commit. I'm just gonna have to keep saying it. And that's not to say that people that are not regular or not normal, but people that... is that a shower
On the way back
outside?
from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing.
It's a shower outside. That's not to say that people that are normal, like, don't have hardships, don't go through, clearly, mental illness doesn't just affect creative people. It affects people that have a either genetic or, savage or brutal things that happen to them, and you have to deal with mental illness as it comes. Everybody has different hardships, but I definitely think that cordoning yourself off, compartmentalizing yourself in your own creative efforts, it can't be by yourself. It just leads to this.
She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
It leads to desegmentation of yourself. I don't even know if desegmentation is a word, but it leads to the deterioration of reality.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
This looks safe.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
A refrigerator up here. There's... Man.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Oh, there were disaster help people. Oh, man. I don't think it ever tells you how he died. At least not
What
to my
happened that
knowledge.
night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
I like that little dip down there. Did not hit her head. That was cool. Oh, there's the... Wow.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
How is this structure safe? Oh, the little figurines over there. Just to pause it real quick. The little figurines over there in the left corner, if you can see them. Oh, no. Oh, crap.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Whoops, I just walked right into the wall. That was good.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around.
Oh. Not sure if
I
this...
started seeing things.
Oh, here we go.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
Oh, man.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
Oh, cool.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Wow.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
Jeez.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Oh, she died in... Wow.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh, it's dedicated. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, wow. That was yeah. Oh, man. Really makes you kind of appreciate all the detailing that went into a game like this. Like really powerful. Yeah, like I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of like in the kind of ending throes of it. It's yeah, that was cool. Oh, Johan, that's cool. An achievement popped up for that. That's cool. I don't know if that's for watching the credits or whatnot, but anyway, yeah, this was a really good game. We're gonna watch the credits because that's the respectful thing to do, I think. Then we'll go back into it. I'm not really concerned about how long the recording was, but or it is going to be. I'll just probably upload the whole thing as one long run. I don't really see a problem with that. And we'll go back and we'll try to get the last achievements. Yeah, this is a somber one. This is a good one. I'm glad that I could play something that was meaningful for my 600th perfect game. And I'm glad that it could kind of, you know, be something that's definitely more than just another game. And I don't mean to kind of end on like a negative note there, but you know, there's a lot that I play, a lot of games that I play simply because I want to like a puzzle game, or just something to kind of take the time away from like real life. But then there's times where you have to I think invest in a story, and really kind of like let yourself be consumed by it. And I think that we have such an opportunity nowadays with so many different platforms to be able to really incorporate some of the titles of the books are just funny, and the movies, but it really incorporates something really truly amazing together. That's cool. That's really neat. I really just think that there's so many indie developers nowadays that just do so such an amazing job with the creative works that they make. Obviously, Giant Sparrow were the people that did this one. I go on about Supergiant because Supergiant made Bastion, my third favorite game ever. So it's amazing to experience games like this. It's an entirely different world that we're growing up in, and we just have this amazing opportunity for literature to take different forms, and it's really amazing to have that. I think it's interesting that there's a few people that aren't talked about. Like you don't meet Ingeborg. That's still the most ridiculous name I've ever heard in my life, but it's fine. But you don't meet a few of the characters that are on there. There's just leaves, and it's interesting that they're not included. But yeah, I really appreciated this game. I think this was a real powerful story. We're gonna head right back in, and we're gonna finish the achievements. Man, I really enjoyed that. I'm not sure where it would. I don't know if like where it's gonna. Let's see here. Let me open the Steam overlay and let's see. So we finished 5 out of the 9, and oh, you have to look through the peepholes. I didn't know you could do that. I tried doing that before and I couldn't. Okay, so pretty simple ones. We have to repeat Calvin's story, which is a kind of a hard one to do, but that's fine. And then we have to go back through Barbara's story as well. And then I think the other 2 are simply Does this take me back to? Oh. I hope that doesn't redo the entire game. There we go. Okay. My bad. Yeah, Calvin. Replay a story. Just allow me to. There we go. It gives me a cursor, and now I can do that. Let's do Calvin's. Yeah. I just assumed that would take me back inside the house. So hopefully this will be okay.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him.
Huh?
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
That's right, I have to physically move this.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Oh, he's standing there. He's standing there taking a picture. I never even noticed that. And he runs off.
Made up his mind to do it.
That's so cool. I never noticed that before.
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Alvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Loop-de-loop. That's
After
cool.
the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Now because, is this not right? No, I don't think this is right. Sealed. All this is sealed. Oh, this is after the, okay. I think with Barbara, I can at least be in the room. I'm not sure when the...
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
So the peepholes have been established now in the story, I think, after this. And commit. Here we go. Oh, okay. No, it's automatic. That's
Barbara
why.
was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Okay. So it's all the peepholes in the entire game, so that's interesting. I wonder if you have to do them in order.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin. As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of. Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
That one wasn't made for Walter. This is locked by now. It's interesting. Yeah, if it does have to all be done on the same playthrough, I probably will not let that. I probably won't capture that.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Trying to remember if there are. There's not other doors down here, but I know that there's at least a few others, I think, because I know there's one for Milton. One for Milton, so we have to replay Barbara's story anyway, so wait, is that? Oh, I have to take both paths to the house. I forgot. I could just have done that from the beginning when I accidentally redid the restart. Oop, this is the wrong house. Or this is the wrong room. Yeah, let's get back to Barbara. Oops, replay a story. We'll do the paths last. So.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it the surprise ending of Barbara Finch.
The voice acting for this guy is amazing. Like, he does such a good job. It's a very, was it Tales from the Crypt? I think that's it.
All washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think I just need
No.
the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the
That's
music
rational.
box. The secret
You do
is
really
to
well
keep
at the Spencer
winding
Mansion.
And winding.
That's what it was called, right?
Until finally,
In the
key
Resident
pops
Evil
out.
series?
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
Spencer Mansion, I think.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And
Oh,
when
yeah.
she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
It's a really cool idea, actually, to have a key embedded.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Okay. I guess we have to... It's a weird achievement. We have to literally knock all the balls. Oh, okay. I can hit the chair. That's cool. Is this off the table? Yeah. What a silly achievement. Oh, that one... Did that go in the hole? Woohoo! Oh, it was the 8-ball, so I lose. Alright, well, it's fine. There we go. Okay. That's... What a silly achievement. That's cool, though. That's cool. Yeah, that's neat. Let's see. Let's replay a story. How do we do... I'm trying to think of where some of the names are. When we went through Molly's, we went through Barbara's, we went through Calvin's. Sam does not have a peephole, I don't think. I'm trying to remember when you had like almost full access to the house. And there's not really a time where you do. maybe on like the very last story, because I could go to Lewis, or I can go to Milton's. We have to go to Milton's anyway, because we didn't do his. So, and this will do the save location outside of Milton's. Yeah, right here. And Milton has this one right here.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Let me see here. Because I think everybody has one, except for obviously the mother Dawn.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room, except Lewis.
So there must be one more unless it needs to be done. You know what? So I don't waste everybody's time. I'm curious how that's supposed to be done. Let me see a closer look. There are 9 telescopes and there's 9 peepholes and 1 telescope. The fence counts as a peephole? Are you really? Oh, you can use the chapter replay, so we're not wasting everybody's time. That was all of them. I think you have to do it in order, though. Oh, I didn't do the one and the bottom level, so I can do that when I go back down to because this is the easiest way to. Oh, I actually should have done the other kid, but this is fine. This gets me out to where I need to go, I'm pretty sure. And then we'll do the 2 paths. Commit. Promise that's the last time I'll say it. Yeah, we've got like maybe 10 minutes left of the playthrough anyway. So down here we didn't look through these ones.
The last time I was
There
in
we go.
Edith Senior's room,
Just popped.
I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Wait, she was painting your portrait? Not for like the memorial, right? Because that's It's weird that Edie has a 2010 written here. Like, if Edie died the day after you guys left, then that means you guys would have to have come back to write the name? That seems weird. Or to write the date, I don't know. Maybe they did come back, I don't know. And they just didn't mention that. No, because they would have had to. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, little tiny things like that don't really bother me, so. Alright, let's just replay it and take the other path, and that'll be the end. Oh, I guess I have to. Wait. New game. Oh, this will erase all my current. It's fine. Yeah, if there's anything that I've missed, I'll just replay it. But this will be. That music is amazing. I mean, whoever did the sound mixing for this is just incredible. I mean, the voice acting, everything is just absolutely phenomenal.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Yeah, this is the last achievement.
I lived here until I was 11,
So we didn't
but I
miss
wasn't
anything.
allowed inside half the rooms. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
I love that it just knocks them off. That's so cool. I didn't see a security.
My mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
I didn't see security cameras, so that's interesting that that sign's up there. But I didn't take this first path here, so there might be ones up here.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back. No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
I wonder if you can do this from the start of the game. You know, when I erased my save data, I wonder if it won't count me taking both paths.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Oh, you can loop back. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. That's fine. You can do it on the exact same playthrough. That's good. I thought that was going to discredit it. It's like a dialogue check. Like it checks to see if any of these pieces of dialogue have been hit. So
The woods around the house have always
go.
been uncomfortably silent.
Yep. You don't even have to take all paths, so that's good. All right, hey. Like I said before, like this was just extra to 100% the game. I'm really happy that this became, game 600. This was a game I wanted to play for a while and stream and record. Let's just, use the house as the final shot. This works out perfectly. What an awesome narrative. What a fantastic, game to play through. Again, I probably should have put a disclaimer at the beginning of it. I probably will, at least for the YouTube video, and on Twitch. Definitely play this one. This is definitely one that needs to be experienced, even if you play it through and you're just like, oh, that doesn't seem for me. Like this definitely resonates, at least for me. It's a powerful story, and it definitely makes you I think value family bonds and the idea of talking through things instead of compartmentalizing and sealing yourself off. It definitely speaks to creativity and mental illness and not believing in a family curse. And even if you do believe in a family curse, like taking proactive measures to be more attentive with the world around you. It's really effective and very thought-provoking of a game, of a narrative. I'm really proud that I own it. This is something that for me is like an achievement in literature, and I'm really satisfied to watch it. But like I mentioned throughout the video, for the Milton story, there's another story on PlayStation 4, or at least the PlayStation Network. I'm not sure if you can access that back on 3, or if, regardless, if you have the PlayStation Network, you can buy the Unfinished Swan. I'm not sure how much it costs, but anyway, that's another story by the same company, or at least some of the similar developers, and it's very good. And then I mentioned 2 other channels on YouTube you should check out. Joseph Anderson did a walkthrough of this, talking about the characterization of everything, going pretty in depth. and it's a very good video. And then I mentioned Devin Christie's channel on here as well, so I definitely want to give her a shout out. She's probably one of my favorite internet celebrities. I don't know. The word celebrity has always made me uncomfortable, but just personalities. Like, she's got a really amazing personality, and she deserves more attention on her channel than I deserve on mine. But she's really good. She's very entertaining. Just a really amazing YouTuber, and video game commenter and BTS fan. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed this game. Thanks so much to Giant Sparrow for this production. It was really impressive. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope to stream more in the future. Like I said, I have connectivity issues at the moment, but hopefully we're going to get that on a more consistent basis, and we'll have a lot more for you. So I'm looking forward to this being a really amazing ride. So thanks so much again, and take care.